Foxes, Mrs. Spielman here, ready for another episode of Baking with me. Today we have a recipe called Carmelitas. This recipe is also from Six Sisters, so if you remember when I did the brownies, which was the first episode I did, I used their recipe for that, and this is them again. I have to say they're my favorite website so far. Over the summer I have been using lots of the recipes for dinners and desserts. So we are going to do that. I hope you're having a great summer. I am finally on vacation. To be honest, I don't like to get dressed up very much on vacation, but today I was like, you know what? Let's get ready. Let's make a video for our foxes. So today we are going to make a recipe called Carmelitas. It doesn't have too many ingredients. It does have a few steps. And then we do need to let it chill. So I recommend, because it does take the oven for just a little bit of time, doing this in the morning, putting it in the refrigerator, and then it's gonna be ready for nighttime when you're really hot and you want a cold, cool dessert. So let's get started making our recipe for today. All right, let's go over what we need to make this recipe happen. We needed a 12-ounce bag of either milk chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate. Either was fine. We needed a 10-ounce bag of little caramels that we're gonna actually unwrap and melt. We needed 1 cup of brown sugar, which I have measured out. This is the container I get the big bags of brown sugar, put it in here. We need 1 cup of flour that I've measured out. We are going to use 1 cup of oats. My husband loves any dessert that has oats in it, so this is going to be good for him. And we needed 3/4 cup of butter. So if you know that this butter stick is a half, okay, and then we needed another 1/4 cup, so we cut a half of another butter stick. So together that makes 3/4. We're 1/4 away from the whole, but we have 3/4 cups of butter. We are gonna have to melt that. So these are all the ingredients we need today to make this recipe happen. So I'm gonna get started with step 1 right now. Okay, I did forget one little ingredient you don't want to forget, so I'm going to show it to you now, which is you need a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. You're going to mix this with the caramel to start. So our first step here is that we need to unwrap all these little pieces of caramel. Now it does say you can use these wrapped caramel squares, or you can find an 11-ounce bag of caramel bits. I didn't find the caramel bits at the store, but I did find these caramels, and they unwrap really easily. So I'm going to unwrap them, put them in the pan, and then put them with this 1/2 cup of whipping cream. And then I'm gonna set it on to start melting. And as it's melting, then I'll do one of the other parts of the recipe. So here we go. Let's unwrap these, put the cream in, and get it going to start melting. All right, now it's time to put in, I have unwrapped all of the caramels. We're gonna put in the heavy whipping cream, and then we're gonna put it on low heat to start melting this down. So I have it at about a 4 to start the melting process. So the instructions say go ahead and place on low heat, stir until smooth and fully combined, set smooth caramel aside, and then we'll start the next one. So I will sit here and work on melting this caramel, and then we will quickly put the rest together. It shouldn't take very long. To just kind of show you what this is in a saucepan, there are all the little caramels with a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. I do have it at about a 4 on my stove top. So they said to melt this down, and then we're going to set it aside, and we will finish putting the rest together. So I'm going to work on melting this down and getting it ready for the part of the recipe it's in. you guys to see how good this caramel looks. So easy. Just take those bits with that heavy whipping cream and it is just gorgeous caramel. So this is finished. I am going to put it to the side like it said, and we are going to work on the crust of this dish. Okay, so now we are going to make the crust, and to make the crust we are going to melt our butter, and we are going to throw in our brown sugar, our flour, and our oats to that, mix it up, and then we are going to put half of it in our crust pan, which is an 8x8. Let me show you. We're going to use an 8x8 pan for this recipe, so we're going to spray it with Pam so that it doesn't stick when it comes out later. So I'm going to throw all this together. I'm going to melt the butter, throw it all together, and put half of my crust in, because the other half will go later at the end. And we're going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes. So again, really easy. We just need the butter, the oats, the flour, and the brown sugar. So I'm going to melt this butter and throw it all together. All right, so our butter is all melted, and we are going to throw in our other items. So again, we are going to throw in a cup of brown sugar. We're going to throw in a cup of flour, and we're going to throw in a cup of oats. Since it is a crust, I have washed my hands. I promise I've washed my hands. I am going to use my hands to mix because I'm going to be pressing down into this dish with the crust. Good. I'm going to spray my pan. So again, I'm only going to put half of this crust that I made. I'm going to press it down in the bottom of the pan. And then we're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes at 350. So as you can see right here, I have it at 350 for 10 minutes, looking golden brown already. The brown sugar helped that. So in 10 minutes, we will take it out and we will put the rest together. Our caramel is still pretty warm over here, still looking really delicious, and that will be part after we take the crust off. We'll be adding our chocolate chips and our caramel. So I will be back in 10 minutes. All right, our timer's about to go off. 10 minutes are ending right now. So I'm gonna pull it out as soon as we hear that beep. There's that beep. We're gonna pull it out and we are going to finish the last piece of this, put it back in for 15 more minutes, and it'll be done. Then we will let it cool either in the fridge or just let it sit out. So it wants it to be completely cool before we eat it. Now, this is early in the day for me, so I'm probably going to let it sit out for a while because we're not gonna eat it till later tonight. So let me pull it. So there is the first part of the crust. So the recipe tells me that now I'm going to take this bag of chocolate chips and I am going to pour it on top of the warm crust. I want to make sure I even it all out. Don't have any of these holes. Chocolate in every bite, people. And then we're going to take that warm caramel and we're going to pour it on top and make sure it's all even. Guys, if you were in my kitchen right now, you would be smelling how wonderful this caramel is. If you're a caramel fan. Some people say caramel, some people say caramel. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just take my spoon and make sure that it's pretty even around, that I have caramel in every bite, people. Okay. Had a little bit of the chocolate come up, so I'm going to wipe it off. All right, now the final piece is we are going to take the other half of the crust that we made earlier, and we're going to sprinkle it on top. Then we're going to throw this puppy back in for 15 more minutes, and voila, we have Carmelitas. So we have the crust layer we did earlier, we have the chocolate chips, we have the caramel, and then we put the rest of the crust on top. So I'm gonna pop this back in the oven for 15 more minutes. So there it is, back in there again. Now all layers are in, so we got it on for 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I will pull it out, show you a quick little vid of it being done. And then tonight we will get into it. All right, 15 minutes, it is out, it is bubbling. So again, the recipe says to either put it in the fridge for 2 to 4 hours or to let it sit for a period of time till it is completely cooled. It's early in the day for me. Again, I'm just gonna leave it out because we're not gonna even touch it till later tonight. But it looks golden brown and beautiful. I can't wait to try these out. Hey Foxes, I'm back. So I have my little piece here of my Carmelita. So let's see how it tastes. It looks really gooey with the caramel and the chocolate all mixed together. So, wow. This is probably the best one that I've done so far for this channel. This is amazing. Try it. Again, few ingredients. It does make a small pan. It's gonna, if you're a big family, it might just be a one dessert thing. For those of you that it's just a couple of you, it'll last a couple of days. So try this. It's delicious. I miss you guys. I hope you're staying safe and have a great day. Bye.